Hello, how are you smiling? Just a walk me back. For you, I thought you were smiling. I walk going on with you. Ladies,
I'm
heart and
smiling
soul
inside.
is inside. Okay, the real sunshine inside. Okay, lovely. So here now, so what we talking about today? Only I'm gonna get to that topic quick.
I
Introduce
find
yourself.
we've been
You
on some
find what?
hot ones recently.
Too much. So introduce
Hi,
yourself. What is
I'm
that? What
Giselle.
is saying?
Very excited for today's topic.
Nah,
And
you're
of
not looking
course,
excited.
no, I'm excited, girl. I'm real excited. I'm just trying to keep it until we bust this
I
spot.
know it's
I
true.
think
Yeah,
Giselle on something today, because today she just have a
true.
natural high, eh? She have a
Mm,
natural high.
I'm nothing, guys.
She's
Crystal,
glowing, she's glowing. Crystal here, as always, ready to spill the tea and to
mhm,
talk about these juicy topics.
the voice of
People
reason.
business, people
Lisa
business.
here, all the way in the UK. It's very sunny, but cold, and I am ready for this one today, honey. Let me tell you, this is all on us today. Taking ownership of your own issues. For me, I feel as
Preach.
women, we always like to blame the man this and the
Hmm.
man that, and this time we have a whole more issues than Vogue. As they say, we have more
Mhm.
issues than Vogue, and we're not dealing with it. We're not accepting it. We're not acknowledging it. We're not, analyzing it and dealing with it and getting it in a better position. So, what are you saying? How, are we taking ownership of our own issues as women?
I agree. I mean, I think it's hard for anybody, whether it's man or woman, to be real. You know what I mean? Especially in
Mm.
today's society where being fake is the new real and being wrong is the new right.
Gosh,
And
yeah,
and then too, we grow in families where they don't really teach you how to be accountable.
It's hush
That
hush.
is not taught
yeah.
at all. It
Ooh,
is, and even if you grow up in a family where the
yeah.
mother and father is wrong, you see it for yourself growing up. Something happens. It's very rare people take ownership. Even in our politics and our government and our
Gosh,
society,
it's true.
it is a general thing
It's
where
just
we do not.
everywhere.
So the kind of examples being there, existing for you now as an individual, unless you somehow you just grow to have a different mentality where you are able to sit back and say, you know what, Crystal, you was wrong. You
You're doing shit.
really
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
you you need you need to take a step back and do better. So
Mhm.
it's a thing where it's a real
I think
challenge.
I think we need to start to downplay, or I want to say criminalize
yes.
seeking therapy. Women as well as men, you need
Mhm.
to take that stigma or that pressure off of I'm going to therapy because you have issues. People don't realize that relationships may not have worked until it's long gone and they've had a serious
Yeah,
conversation with self.
yeah.
You
Hmm.
have to deal with, I compare this person to my last man, or I compare
Hmm.
this person to my father, or I
And bringing
compare
that
this person,
baggage with
and you
you.
bring that energy with you.
Yes,
Some people
yes.
have abandonment issues, some people have mommy issues, some people
Hmm.
have daddy issues. And you know what? Whatever your issue is, it's fine, boo boo. But get help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Get
yeah,
help.
yeah.
Get
So
help.
you women do you feel like you guys take ownership of your own issues? Have you not in the past? Do you do it
Of
now?
course, I mean,
Or,
I've been definitely been guilty of that, where,
Mhm,
situations happen and in our head we believe that, well, we are right, or because of how the
mhm,
situation unfolded, you think, well, oh, well, she did me wrong, or he did me wrong, or if it's a
mhm,
job or whatever the situation is. And probably, like as Giselle said, maybe 2, 3 years down the road, or not even 2, 3 years, probably sometimes 6 months down the road because you moved on from the situation.
yeah,
And, you're
yeah,
just sitting down and you internalize and then you realize, well, I could have handled that better. And
yeah.
there were situations where probably even like I would say a couple months after the fact, I would have, called those persons and I said, I just want to let you know that, when X so and so happened, at the time, because the situation was such an intense one and was so stressful for me, I would
Yeah.
have said things or done things that would
Yeah,
have been out
totally.
of line or would have not been appropriate. And I don't want when I'm walking in the road or we're in the supermarket and I bounce up, I see you, and it's this kind of I meet
Yeah,
with.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
But
would
I
have reached
feel
out to persons and apologized. you
Okay.
know,
I feel
and
apologizing is important, Crystal, but not only that. I think apologizing is a huge step. Don't get me wrong. Saying
mhm,
sorry takes a lot.
Yes, take a
But I
lot,
think in having the hard conversation with yourself, where you recognize your seasons, your triggers, your starters,
Mm-hmm.
where you say to yourself, I had a friend point it out to me, more than one friend had pointed out to me that I have seasons, and women may need to
Mm.
pay attention to that. And you may
Right.
not understand there are certain times in your life where your emotional well-being is not at its best.
At
So
its
my
best,
mhm,
yeah.
seasons, and they are triggered by experiences. My
Mm-hmm.
seasons may be during the July August period. I'm extremely apprehensive about getting ready for school as a parent
Mm-hmm.
because my childhood experiences, I was not always exposed to someone who was prepared for me to have my best start,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I am always stressed out about having enough money, doing what you need to do, has everything been checked off the book list. So
Yeah.
you don't want to hear anybody.
Yeah.
Your way is the right way, but somebody
But
may
that
have something to contribute, and you realize that you're
it's
being unfair to your
it's
partner
important.
because he doesn't have those triggers, nor does he
No.
have that issue.
You see that
But you
triggers
have
thing?
that season where
Yeah.
you're
mhm,
just basically on pins and needles because of something that happened long
Long
before
time
you
ago.
came into this relationship.
I did a blog post on triggers a few years, probably 2 years ago. And that's because I realized my triggers and dealing with my issues and going through therapy.
Yeah,
So it came out, a lot of things came out where, starting therapy because of a breakup or because a relationship is not going the way you think it should go, and then realizing it's nothing to do with the relationship, it's to do with you. So
mhm,
even me personally, I have had that journey from blaming the other person and be like, well, you should change and you should be doing this and you should be, because it's not working for the picture that you have in your head. And then only to realize that, well, wait a minute, it's not just one person, it's two people. So you as well have to acknowledge your own issues, which I had to do. And like Crystal said, go back now to that person and be like, you know what? When this and this happened, or when we, this and this was said, and I did this and this, or you did this and this was the reasoning, this was the explanation. I am sorry for putting that on you, and now I realize that I shouldn't have done that. So it's a lot of yeah, it's a lot of digging you have to do, and I think I have taken a lot of ownership from my own issues. So now I could talk to people about it because I recognize it more, if that makes sense. So I feel like this topic is really, really close to me and the journey that I've had in the last couple of years.
mhm,
so
But
it's personal for you.
yeah, but there can be good triggers as well. So we're not looking at all triggers as bad triggers. There can be good triggers. They could push you in a better direction as well. So,
And maybe
but
that's something that we need to discuss with all our viewers and
yes,
encourage them to comment
to
that
comment. Yeah.
unpacking is very important, and
Hmm.
that you have good triggers and bad triggers, and find ways to
Yeah.
increase your happy moments or your
mhm.
happy triggers and
Yes.
minimize your
And
response
minimize. Yeah.
to the ones that make you
Hmm.
feel
And
like
don't be afraid to, admit when you are wrong. And as our topic said, take ownership of what you would have done.
And being right is not always important in every situation. Sometimes you just had to be quiet and let that person, probably kind of like get what they need to get out as well. And then at a later stage, say, you know what, you said something recently, and I just wanted to understand. Or, and that sometimes we could help just by
Mhm,
being, because as soon as somebody says something, we're going to get defensive. So it's that whole trying to balance that as well, and helping the other person if you can, or if you think that you're capable of doing it, to get their stuff out. Because we all, like I say, all of that is just
for
relatives to it.
yeah.
Listen,
real.
the things that
This
come
one was
out in
close to
therapy,
home. This one was close
yeah,
to
this
home.
one is close to me because the amount of stuff that came out in my sessions, like days I'll be after therapy, I just come home and sleep because it's just exhausting. It's like really that's what was going on in my head, that was going on in my body, that was going on. You know what I mean? Your system.
Yeah.
And you see childhood experiences, we underestimate this thing that has a lot of weight on the kind of relationships that you're in or what you look for in relationships. And if you
Mhm,
understand where you come from as a child and the things that you learned or didn't learn, or the things that you like and didn't like, or was forced to do and didn't want to do, that will help you determine what issues you face in relationships. I think it will help you that mirror, because that person is really a mirror of yourself. When you're in relationships, friendships, intimate relationships, romantic relationships, I feel like it's a mirror of each other because you're kind of mirroring each other in a way. So
I
that
don't feel
person's
like it's
telling
a
you
mirror, but
a lot
I
of what you
feel
are.
like there are similarities, and
Yeah.
I think there are yings to your yangs. So
Yeah,
looks like we could do this one again,
I
huh?
know,
With
right? This was a good one, but ladies, you know the time is go so quick. Why does it have to go so quick? You ready for Whole Hard Facts? I gotta put on my glasses for this.
for the cold hard facts or for the dance?
So, well, the dance and the start to the word skill, words that I have. So, ladies, let me know who's going first.
But I mean, I just how is the best way to say this?
Oh gosh,
It's
If
not
you
good.
it's not a
if
good
you
one.
sleep on a win, you go wake up with a loss. We expect.
Sleep on a no, that yet explain that to me after. That sounds like a serious type. Serious type
Diamonds
of
and big
cancer.
stone.
I, I,
Diamonds and
I
big stone.
can't. Giselle, where you have from a girl?
I want to tell men and women, but especially the men, stop accepting other people's idea of what your happiness should look like.
Mm.
Right? A lot of you are in relationships with people who look well but do not think well. And
Yeah.
ladies, you all are looking for the guy who will buy the Birkin bag or the Gucci or the Fendi, but he would not tip the waiter. You have to look at
Yes.
more than the outside and
Character.
stop letting social media and other things dictate what
Yeah.
happiness should look like. It is not a one size fits all.
True. That's true. Mine is, kind of going back to topic today a little bit. The right attention from the wrong person during a lonely time will fool you into thinking they are the one. So don't be
Poison.
fooled.
Mm-hmm.
The
Don't pay
right attention
attention
from that wrong.
for.
Yes. Take your time to
Don't
be lonely, deal with your issues, and come back fresh. Ladies,
Yes.
we have a new segment, big winner. Oh my goodness. Yes.
big.
I think this one is expected though, because given the excitement that we all witnessed during the week with the, you swearing in and stuff like that. So, for the style and grace, the inspiration to women all around the world, women and girls, because she just have it. Michelle Obama is our big winner today
Yes.
for showing
Slay
up,
it.
for showing out, for always looking good, for always having a
Big
pleasant,
sledge.
just out there, just that inspiration.
And staying
Love her.
relevant even long
And
after being
saying
first
yes,
lady. Yeah.
yes. And listen, husband still holding hands. She and the husband still, oh, every
Couple
time I see her, that's
goals.
like couple goals. So Michelle Obama, today you are our big winner in heart and soul.
Go
I don't know if you're getting
Michelle.
to see this, but if you're getting to see this, yay!
Let me
Bigger.
and securing that bag and
I know,
securing
right?
that bag and still being a
Not to
bestseller.
mention her book
Yes,
Even
becoming Michelle
even after
Obama,
Obama brought
excellent
out
book.
his book.
good. I know it's so good, isn't it? Yeah, but ladies, oh my goodness, it finished. We done, That is a different
Time up.
segment. So like,
Wow.
share, comment, love. Let us know
Yeah,
what you
give us that
think. Send
feedback.
us feedback. If you know us personally, let us know what you think. Heart and soul. Love you, ladies.